All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're back here talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. 5 straight wins today. Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor getting the victory over the Cleveland Browns at home. It was not always pretty. In fact, most of the game wasn't pretty on the offensive end, that is. A couple of cats went down. We'll talk about all of it, but that defense, man, this is one of the best defenses in the entire league. They held Nick Chubb to just 2.4 yards per carry. 2.4 yards per carry, and to add insult to injury for the Browns, they held Kareem Hunt on just a couple of carries to 1.5 yards per attempt, and the Cleveland Browns in general, as a team, to just 2.8 yards rushing the football, just like we saw with Derrick Henry a couple of weeks ago. But that is now 5 straight wins. This team is on an absolute rampage, and, really to me, unfortunately, Buffalo won and Kansas City also won today. I'm honestly not even thinking about getting that 1 seed. I'll let the season go how it's supposed to go and figure it out once we get into the playoffs. But this Bengals team, they should definitely be feared. They won 23-10 at home. It was a very just unideal offensive game for the most part. Joe Burrow, 18-33, 239 yards, but still had 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but he made the throws when he needed to make the throws. Joe Mixon made his return. He had a long of 40, finished 14 carries for 96 yards. Like I said, a couple of cats went down. You saw Boyd go down with a dislocated finger. You saw T. Higgins go down. Apparently he tweaked his hamstring in warm-ups. Really, the bottom line to me, it would be great getting that 1 seed. The bottom line to me is just getting and staying healthy. That's really all it boils down to for me, because the Bengals are fully healthy on the offensive end, and on the defensive end, that is absolutely terrifying. But welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about this Bengals game and the Bengals in general. Let's try and get this video to 1,000 likes. Bengal fans, you guys have been absolutely so supportive. It is so cool to see, and this game, to me, is going to fly under the radar because I think a lot of people aren't all that familiar with the Browns and Bengals rivalry in general and the way it's been the last couple of seasons. Joe Burrow getting that win. Zach Taylor getting that win. This is, they're just maintaining that momentum. They're continuing to build confidence. They're continuing to gain that momentum as we get into the end of the regular season. Momentum's everything. Right? It's just quite literally everything. But once again, Bengal fans, you guys are absolutely blessing my channel. You guys are absolutely blessing my life. If this video were to get like 3,000 likes, I will 100% go buy a Bengals jersey. Almost a Browns jersey. Definitely not. I'm all set with that. 3,000 likes, I'll buy a Bengals jersey. But I'm going to be covering this team for the rest of the season. You know that, right? So I think, to me, the defense is, they're on a different level. And it still is crazy to me that they're missing their number 1 cornerback. That defensive line is absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't end just there. Logan Wilson continues to have an insanely incredible season. Today he had 17 total tackles. 14 of them were solo. Logan Wilson is an absolute monster. DJ Reader, he had a quarterback hit. He only had one deflection, only one quarterback hit. But if you use the eye test, if you watch today's game, if you're a Bengals fan, you know damn well how good he is. I don't even need to explain it to you guys. He is such a presence. That defensive line in general is such a presence. Dude, they're loaded on defense. They are absolutely loaded. Mike Hilton did go down for a little bit, but he made a return. Eli Apple is having a phenomenal season. The young cats are stepping up. It has just been an absolute phenomenal season for this Bengals defense. It started a little bit shaky, but they have done such a good job, whether it's just getting healthy, getting that chemistry going since the start of the season, to get to 9-4, 5-1 at home. And to me, it's not always going to be pretty. It just kind of comes down to, on your bad weeks, what do you look like? On your bad weeks, what do you look like? Well, today, I was a little surprised with the lack of runs to Samaj P. Ryan. He had a couple of drops right away in the first quarter, so I was kind of shaking my head at those. But he had that amazing touchdown run. He had 4 carries for 22 yards, but mainly it was the Mixon show. Still, he only had 14 carries for 96 yards, but he is coming back from a concussion. We saw Joe Burrow get a couple of first downs using his legs. if that's a bad game from the offense, like 360 yards, and you're still able to put up 23 points without two critical wide receivers and your starting tight end, that's good enough for me. There's no pictures on the scoreboard or on the final stat sheet on your final win-loss record. There's no pictures on it. A win is a win, especially when it's against the Cleveland Browns. I had a lot of Browns fans come in on my Bengals videos throughout this week saying, this is cool and all. Yeah, the Bengals, maybe they do get to the Super Bowl, but they're not going to win tomorrow. We own you guys. Well, things are turning. I go back to that one comment from a couple of videos ago saying last year we didn't know what we didn't know. Things have changed, man. This is a more mature, a more experienced team. Like I said, I really think all it boils down to is getting and staying healthy. Getting and staying healthy. So for the rest of the season, it is a little difficult. Technically, Tampa Bay had a horrible loss to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is a really talented quarterback. San Francisco is a very talented football team, but you have a really struggling Tampa Bay team next week. Follow it up by still a struggling offense, but a good defense. Same thing kind of as Tampa Bay, just one has Tom Brady, the other doesn't. But you play some really good defenses from here to the rest of the season. So I'm very curious to see how Cincinnati handles it, especially if they were to have a bad game similar to today, where things just aren't necessarily clicking. I will give credit to the Browns defense, especially that defensive line. They're really good at getting pressures. They're phenomenal at getting to pressures. They're phenomenal at getting to the quarterback no matter who they're playing. So the Bengals have struggled a little bit with that throughout this season. But I do think it's important to note, you're literally missing your starting tight end, your number 2 and number 3 wide receivers, and you still made it work. I don't think that 18 of 33 for 239 yards and an interception with 2 touchdowns, I don't think that does Joe Burrow justice, because the game went a lot better than the stat sheet shows. Jamar Chase, really missed him. You can tell the Bengals missed him in that last Browns game. He finished with 10 receptions, 119 yards. That first touchdown he had, it didn't even look like he knew the ball was coming his way, and that is some fast hand-eye coordination, because he caught that ball for that touchdown, get him on the board in the second quarter. Trenton Irwin had a couple of huge catches, 2 huge catches, a huge touchdown. Trent Taylor had a great catch. Joe Burrow still made the plays when he had to make the plays. And that, to me, goes a very long way, because, there are some teams like Tampa Bay, for example. They lost 35-7 today. It was a horrible game. It was terrible. If you can still play poorly offensively with how good your defense is, maybe Tampa Bay isn't the best comparison, but you get what I'm saying. If your defense is this good, and your offense struggles, and you're still able to win the game, I never at any point in this entire start to finish, whether it was the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, I never once thought the Bengals were in jeopardy of losing this football game. I never once thought that. And to be honest with you, most of the Browns' success came in the second half as far as throwing the football. But the run game never from start to finish got going for them. So Cincinnati, they're not fully healthy. That is absolutely insane. So I know Bengals fans kind of like flying below the radar right now, and I can't blame them. Kansas City, Buffalo, they're going to get all the praise. Cincinnati's got a chip on their shoulder because of last year and just in general, small market team. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this current Bengals team. I would imagine 5 straight victories feels pretty damn good. So stay tuned for more Bengals content. I post a bunch of football videos in general, but Bengals fans, you guys have been doing wonders to me. So I'm forever grateful for you guys, and I really appreciate all the love. So hit that like button, hit that sub button. Most importantly, let me know down below.